There's nothing like cracking that cellophane and pulling that record out. It just smells great.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Non-stop hardcore energy.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Unlike any other.
With your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bod Father.
Man, this stuff rocks.
This is Frank Hunter. You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bod Father, and as always, I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a very, very huge privilege to welcome my first rap artist. He's local rap artist Frank Hunter. Frank's latest album, Perseverance 2, is out now, and he's been releasing a lot of new singles. So we're going to be talking to him about all this stuff and plus the new singles and what's going on with Frank coming up here shortly. So Frank, man, how you doing?
Hey, man, just happy to be on the show.
How excited are you to hopefully to play some more local shows since things are opening up right now, since this pandemic is slowly, finally letting up, hopefully. And so how excited are you?
Very. COVID's really slowed down a lot of things. I lost a lot of, I don't know, it really took it out of me. Mm-hmm. It took a long time to produce my last LP, Perseverance 2, and my first LP, Ugly. It really, It got to the point of where we started learning how to engineer and produce for our own selves because all these studios were shut down. We had to just really learn how to do it yourself because, how do I say it? There was nothing.
Yeah.
YouTube plays and SoundCloud plays, it only get you so far as getting your name out there.
You could have done like Twitch or maybe like something on YouTube, but it's getting to the point now where they strike you for that stuff. And then here comes, DMCA strikes or DMCA, something like that. But I think that really hurts artists in a way. And I know a lot of them are doing it right now, though, live stream.
They do. It's not something I've never really tried to, get into just because Twitch is pretty fucked. You can have one chick getting out there and show her tits constantly. But, you have another guy say something really small and they'll get banned.
Yeah.
So I just think that's kind of biased and I try to stay off of Twitch. It works for some people though.
Did you find yourself doing anything differently other than working on music, such as like collecting or catching up on anything during this pandemic at all? Did you just continue to hammer out singles?
I really worked on Perseverance 2 during a lot of it. I tried to really sit down and take my time to write these songs. And some of them in normal music, any musician can tell you that sometimes every time you sit down and write a song, it doesn't come out the way you want it to.
Being from Eastern Kentucky, how difficult has it been being a local rap artist, or has it been pretty smooth getting shows and people accepting your music? Because you know just as well as I do, it's very hard around here.
Oh, it's terrible. Just today I was looking at this guy just talking mad shit on just about all these local artists who don't have just being a hater, really. You can't get any, if you want to try to play a bar, you might as well just say no. Mm-hmm. Any bar. I've asked every bar around here, hey, do you want me or Jesse to come out or somebody? They're like, yeah, we don't really want the kind of music that you make out of these places. So we really have to really grind a little harder to get a show. So that's when we do set one up, we try to promote it so much.
How's it feel to when you have somebody like that hates on the music, but then you actually win them over? Has that happened before? Then they'd be like, man, I'm so sorry to not like your music, but now it's actually pretty cool.
It's happened once or twice, not as much as you think, just because of this area. There's a lot of people who hate rap, and especially they don't like rap, they don't like metal, and I make rap metal, so it's even worse. But then you have some of these fans, especially younger generation, the kids, they love it. And I don't really make music for children. If you've ever heard of my stuff, but
Oh yeah, no, it's not for children.
it's not for children whatsoever. But these kids love it. Like I had this like one kid come up to me and he says, "Smoke weed, fuck Riley Reid," and I'm just like, no. Do you know who that is? Like, you need to go like play, but they love it, and I'm just so happy to give like, these kids something to do.
How's the collaboration with other local rap artists, such as like Little Jesse? I mean, you worked with him a lot. How's working with the rest of them?
Me and Jesse have like a good workflow together. Every time I want to try to do something more like poppy or something that's not just, straight rap metal, I really, I'm always like, I need Jesse for this. Because he always like, we'll sit there and cuss at each other and scream and like, redo that shit, Frank, redo it, come on. And I'm just like, God bless. And I've worked with, his name's Zach Hall, but he goes by Holiday. I've worked with him quite a bit. He's a great lyricist. He's been on my more recent single, Soulless. He really knows how to. When I started first working with him, he really set me down. He goes, okay, I'm going to teach you how to really use your words better. Because, you just can't. The way I look at it is you just can't be just by yourself, even when you're just in rap. You got to have friends in any kind of industry so you can grow on each other.
Working with these guys, though, do they get something out of you, man, that maybe somebody else might not get, possibly working with the local artist groups?
I've still worked with Holiday with it a little bit, about just crowd control, getting hype, moving the crowd, because you can have so good a lyrics. You can have like, your little poppy, good pop songs or these super lyric songs, but if you can't control the crowd, then that's part of it, is really getting the crowd moving. Because if you can control the crowd, you control the show. You
have 4 EPs and 2 full-length albums and 5 singles so far. How does it feel to have this much music out in the Frank Hunter Music Library and all this content, man? How's it feel so far?
Just putting in work, really. It's just really trying to, really, how much do you want it? Everyone has a song that they don't like. Like, I have this song called Guillotine that people love. People eat it up, and I can't stand that song. I can't stand, like, I listen to it all the time. I'm just like, why the fuck did I even record this?
Why? I mean, what's the deal with it? Why don't you like it?
I hate it. I just don't like that song. I don't know why. It just, every time I hear it, it rings my ears. I'm just like, why? Why do you all like this? And I have like some other songs that I think are so good that I love. And everyone's just like, why do you like that song so well, Frank? Why do you like it? I don't know. It's one thing I've learned in music is everything's unpredictable.
That's true. And a lot of bands have that same reaction like you. They write a song, they absolutely hate it, but the fans eat it up.
They eat it up, and you still have to play that song.
Yeah.
You have to play it constantly. Like Jesse was trying to like show that song to everyone, and I'm just like, no, show him something. I was like, show him Ugly, show him Atomic, show him something, my newer stuff. Show him Soulless. Hell, like we done a freestyle over a beat from a Kentucky artist called Jack Harlow. Mm-hmm. We done a remix for that, just off the dome freestyle, and it's awesome. And no one really listens to it. And I'm just like, Jesse, why won't you help me push that one? He's like, no, man, push Guillotine harder. I'm like, no.
You have released a lot of singles lately. Did you not want to wait and put together another EP or just a full length, or do you just need to start pushing these singles to say irrelevant right now?
Instead of waiting for all of this to drop, I just wanted to push some singles. Like, I have a plan. I want to try to drop 1 single a month. So what you can do, you sit down in the studio and record almost like a full-length album. But you market it as, okay, this song's dropping this day. This song's dropping this day. Instead of just giving, you almost like you're blue balling them, basically. You got to keep them waiting and tease this single coming up and tease this next one coming up. Like I've dropped Ugly 2, and I've dropped Soulless with Holiday, and I've dropped a Better Days 2, which was on one of my first EPs called Unidentified. It was me, Jesse, and Holiday. We put that out, back in 19.
That's just like John 5, man. When he came out with his last album, or maybe album before this one, every song on it was just a single, and then after all the singles are released, then he released a whole album.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like it's a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
I really I like it this way better because it lets you sit there and really take your time on these songs, so you're not just trying to like rush and get them all out. That was one of my problems in my earlier days, and I listen to them now and I'm like, yeah, you could tell it's kind of rushed versus like some of the my newer stuff.
Writing the current album Perseverance 2, did it challenge you, or do you even see it like that when you were creating your music? Did it challenge you at all?
I put a lot of work into making Perseverance 2. Perseverance 1 was my very first EP, my very first project, and before that, like, no one even knew who, like, Frank Hunter. They just seen this guy posting this, they see me posting, they're like, Frank Hunter. They just thought it was just some random guy. Until I sat down and I got some like legit, photo shoots, some good editing, and everyone's like, "Wait, you're making music?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've been putting out because I put out some singles before that. Me and Jesse put out a song called Actin', and we wrote it in like 10 minutes on the way to a studio in Lexington, and we just found this beat on YouTube, and it was my very first song ever, and I just went in there and just yelled my guts out, and I remember this guy walking in and goes, "So who, it was called Fire LLC Entertainment. It's shut down now, but a guy named Big Zoe ran it, and it was an awesome place." After we done that, the guy walks in and goes, "So who's got Marilyn Manson in there?" I was like, "Yeah, that's me."
What about like local support, man? How much local support do you get as far as like from having fans to family, things like that?
It's about 50-50. Sometimes it's either, when it comes to me, which every artist is different, when it comes to me, I'd have to say it's either they really like me or they really don't. There's not like anything in between. And usually I get most of my fans after a live performance, just because like I don't really have like the greatest lyrics or like, the poppiest stuff, but I love playing shows. I love getting the crowd jumping. I love that heavy bass hitting, the slamming 808s.
Were these songs previously written or all brand new songs? Were these songs that didn't make an EP or full length that was left over possibly, or are these just all fresh new ones?
All fresh new. Okay. All fresh new. Usually if I have a song that I scrap, I just don't even put it out. If I don't think it's good enough to make the project, then it's not good to put out. I just don't do that. I know a lot of artists do that. It's not my shtick, if you get me.
What's impressed or excited you the most about making Perseverance 2, if anything, man? What sticks out the most about it for you after it was all said and done?
It's the first track I ever produced my own song on. I made this song called Bastard, and it absolutely it's went great. Everyone loves it. It's my old style yelling, heavy 808s, hard synths, just get up and go kind of style. I took my time writing it. It took me probably 3 weeks to write it, and it's only like a 2-minute song.
Oh, jeez.
But it goes hard. It goes real hard for the whole thing. Everyone kind of laughs at it because I have this line that says using your balls as an ornament. I don't know why. I just think that's hard. And everyone kind of looks at it. The first line, they're like, "What?" Because it says birthed this beat and aborted it.
Jeez. Any tracks standing out more to you than any right now on the album? I know it must change every time you listen to it, and I know these are your babies, but are there any that stick out for you possibly?
My favorite 2 tracks personally is Bastard, and I done this song with Jesse. We wrote it literally as we was going along. He's featured on the song. It's called Confessions of a Madman. Mm-hmm. It was sort of like one of my steps into just in a different direction, not really yelling as much, trying to actually work on my words and trying to really just, I don't like to be known as the guy who just yells all the time. I'd like to do a little bit something different. Like when I was writing Better Days and Better Days 2, we have the auto-tune cranked on there. And originally I was a guy that wasn't ever going to use any auto-tune until one day Jesse just looked at me. He goes, try it. Just do it. And I tried it one time and I was like, well, this ain't that bad. This is pretty fun. I can sing now.
I'm a big boy now.
Yeah, basically. Like, oh, guys, I can sing. And it's a lot of people don't really know what they just think. You flick on the auto tune and you sound like a robot. Mm-hmm. It's not like that. It's really different. Like, you have to it's auto tune. You have to like tune it to the key of what your beat's in, for one. And if you actually using it correctly, you sound really like, it sounds like pretty boy kind of like stuff, especially with all the different programs. There's not just, auto tune. There's a one called Access, Artist, Pro, EFX3, and that's just one brand. There's actually different brands. So it's just not all like, a lot of people don't understand that.
Was there a song that was brought to the table that just totally ended up sounding differently than what it was?
We got this song, it didn't do well at all. It's probably one of the lowest played ones on the album. Well, LP, whatever you want to call it. It's called No Time. And we in Holiday, I was actually lived with him for a couple months. And we were sitting down writing this song, and it's just so weird. It's like a weird song, but I was going in the studio thinking, I was like, this song might not make it. But it turned out really, really well. And it's got like this weird intro from like the 50s. And it just turns into like this like 21 Savage style like piano comes in, and it turned out really well.
Who produced this album for you?
All different kinds of people. I just don't stick to one producer. I originally said I was going to stick to one producer, but then all producers are different.
Sure.
Like even when I produce something, like I produce Bastard on it. Like songs just start sounding the same if you use the same producer over and over again. That's why you got to keep always moving to different guys. Like one of my favorite producers, his name's Jay Freshman. He's produced quite a bit of my tracks. He produced that Guillotine song, and he produced probably one of my biggest songs, Atomic. It was from Perseverance 1. And he's probably one of my favorite guys to work with. I haven't worked with him in forever. I haven't worked with him since my last EP, Mariana's Trench. It's probably my heaviest EP. I've done this one called Dark Horse, of where I was not going to try to yell. Everyone was like, yeah, man, if you do some like 90s kind of stuff, or you do some like really soft stuff, we'll love to listen to that. We'll love to listen to that. And no one listened to it. So I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go back and absolutely make the heaviest EP I can. And it was like 4 tracks, and they're all so heavy. Me and D Rose, one of my good guys, he guy up in Rhode Island, shout out to him, D Rose, and Wave Road Records, Nate, the whole crew. He hopped on one of my tracks, and I got Jesse on one of the tracks called Challengers Deep. It's part of it's actually part of the Mariana Trench, and it just, I don't know, I love it. I love that little 4-track EP. I don't care if anybody else don't like it. It's just, it's one of those ones I hold to my heart.
I want to step back here for just a little bit, because I just thought of this.
Yeah.
Being a rap artist nowadays, is it more harder to get out and get kind of discovered? Because I know like rock and metal, it's kind of like a dime a dozen. You got to stick out there. You have to be way out there for somebody to take a look at you. But do you find it as a rap artist just as hard or a little bit easier?
It depends, really. This area really puts a damper on it.
Sure, yeah.
And that's why I always try to like tell people, I'm just like, guys, we got to start, promoting more than just country artists around here, because there's tons of metal artists around here. There's tons of rappers around here. That there's a lot of talent in Eastern Kentucky.
Yes, they are.
That gets overlooked just because it's from Eastern Kentucky, and that's why I always try to tell people we have to. I'm like, guys, we cannot keep doing what we're doing, or we're going to stay in this loop. Mm-hmm. So you really got to try to stick out. But at the same time, though, in rap, everybody wants to hear the same thing. But used to, you had to be like so different in rap to stick out. But now everybody wants to hear the same thing anymore, and I don't really like that. That's one thing about rap that I really I disagree with. Everybody wants to hear like, I fuck his bitch, I got diamonds, and I don't like that. Of course, everyone has their songs that they do that, but people want to hear that in like every song, and I just don't get that.
Who did the photo for the album cover of this Perseverance 2?
For Perseverance 2, it's this chick. Her name's Jackie Chaffins. She done a little photography. We actually just shot it on an iPhone. Went and edited it really, really well, which iPhones have pretty good cameras, but she was talking about like she done Ugly 1 and she done Perseverance 2.
Do you see yourself musically growing from where it started? Anything you would like to add to your music, if anything, man? Is there anything that you want to go outside that box and add to your music, to throw a curveball in there maybe?
I would love to be able to actually sing without auto-tune. I can be a real big boy then. I can't sing worth a fuck. I really can't. Like, I know my faults. I do, like, but I can't see myself learning, like taking the time to learn how to sing, but at the same time, I really do.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But do you see yourself still growing, though, musically?
Yeah, always. You always have to look for your next step. You just can't stay in the same box all the time. Of course, every artist has their, their shtick or their thing they like to do. Like, there's some artists that love to sit there and freestyle. I hate freestyling. That's one thing that it gets on my nerves. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're a rapper. Come on, spit a 16 for us real quick, man. Show me what you about, what you can do." And you're just sitting there like, "Fuck, man."
That's hard.
You just got to sit there, and they won't give you a word, a beat, or anything. Like, come on, man, just come on. Just spit us something real quick. I'm sitting there like, topic, anything. Nah, man, you're the rapper. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead, man. And you get that all the time. Like I was coming back from Rhode Island last time. We was recording some of my singles that I posted. I dropped Ugly 2 last night. That's just the single. Check that out on SoundCloud. It's going to be coming to YouTube soon. I would tell people, yeah, I'm out here making music. And it's the first thing they say, "Spit me a freestyle, man. Spit me a freestyle. Let's do that." And it's so irritating. Mm-hmm. And I don't try to come off as a dick to them, but after you heard it like 12 times, you're just like, "Oh man."
Oh sure, I've watched people that have been in rap for a long time. Mm-hmm. Some can actually do the freestyle. And then there's some that just, like you said, they have to have a beat. They have to have something to go by. And people are different. And I think that's very cool because if you can freestyle, man, God bless you.
Yeah.
If you can think on your feet like that and just spit it out like that, that's cool. But now for others who are old school, they've got to have that beat. They've got to have something to go by.
Like when me and Jesse done that freestyle for that Tyler Hero remix, we had a beat and I had to sit there and listen to it for a second. I had to actually really, really, really think.
Folks, this is kind of a cool concept with Frank here because this is wild, actually. And it is, but it's not. This is kind of how typically it goes. I know you're a metal guy. Hands down, you are a metal guy.
Oh, I love metal. I love metal.
But what made you want to become a musician, and what was that spark for you to go down the rap side of it, man?
Well, I played drums for a long time, and I started wanting to get into more rap because I know I could actually make music and I didn't want to have anyone else on anybody else's time. I got really sick of like the bands that would want to, yeah, let's come practice. We got a practice coming on. And we'd practice for 15 minutes and sit outside and smoke the rest of the time.
Oh, yeah. I've been there, done that.
And I got so sick of it. I said, I don't even want to do it. I don't want to do music no more. And then I started really getting into like X and Suicide Boys and like Puya. Just like really getting into the more harder rap. And I was like, oh shit, I'd love to do this. I was working at a bar. I was bouncing at a bar and Jesse came in. I was like, hey, you're Jesse, aren't you? It's like, where do you record at? And that's really how it started.
Let's talk about like your metal influences, man. Who are some of your influences far as along the lines of metal? Because we talked about this before we went live. Well, not live, but started doing this pre-recorded interview. You talked about Pantera.
I love Pantera.
So who are some of your biggest metal influences?
I would have to say Rings of Saturn.
Okay.
Rings of Saturn's badass. Well, they were badass. Ever since they kicked Ian out, I got pretty pissed off when I heard Lucas done that. I was just like, "You're gonna really do that to Ian after 10 years?"
Sadly,
I've met Lucas a few times. I can't really say me and him see eye to eye. I've met their old guitarist, Miles Demetrius Baker, probably one of the best guitar players I've ever seen live. When I seen him actually in sync, I thought I was listening to the actual album.
Oh wow!
And
That's
it's Rings of Saturn, so they're not just your typical run of the mill. I've never seen Aaron Staccato. When I seen him do Gravity Blast, it sounded like a machine gun going off.
Here's something that I've always said, and I don't mean any disrespect whatsoever to any bands out there. It's either you are a live band or you are a recording band. One of the two. You either sound good live or you sound good on the CD only. and that's what it is. I'm sorry.
I seen Slaughter to Prevail. Alex Terrible is amazing live, and he's amazing in the studio too. But that's like, it's kind of a 1 in 1,000 kind of things, like Alex Terrible. But he just, how do I say it? He's just got that tone. He's got the build for it. He's a brute.
Let's go back to growing up a little bit. Did you have a go-to album or just a song that you had to have, or maybe an album that you listened to every 2 weeks that you had to have, you couldn't go without listening to it?
You talking about metal?
It doesn't matter.
Which I've listened to a whole lot more metal than I have rap. I really liked Attila made it, actually. It's called About That Life. It was actually a pretty badass album. I was like in my early 20s listening to it, like when I was really like getting back into like listening to music hardcore. And like, Attila's not really a big heavy band, but they actually, I don't know, it sparked me different. I listened to a lot of Ozzy growing up, and I was like a big Ozzy fan, back when I was like in middle school and stuff like that. As I Lay Dying.
Oh, yeah.
They're great. I love listening to them. Killswitch, I'm a Killswitch fan. Killswitch, great band.
Howard or Jesse?
I don't like choosing.
Yeah, me either. I like them both.
I like them both. I don't like choosing.
Yeah, I like them both.
They're just like, do you like are you a Howard or a Jesse fan? Man, I'm just like, they both have their ups and downs. They're both great vocalists.
I love Howard's version of Holy Diver.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my God.
Sometimes I prefer that over the Dio version.
Yeah.
And don't I'm gonna get some more hate on that too.
No, I totally agree. And there's another band, it's an all-female band called the Burning Witches. They do
no shit.
They did a cover of it.
I gotta hear that.
They did really good, really good. I mean, I think they knocked it out of the ballpark. And yeah. When I told Laura that when she was on the show, it floored her because they've got some shit over that, and I don't see why if you cover a song and you do it good. And you do it satisfactory, more power to you. Fuck the haters.
There's sometimes I think, like when a band does a song,
it's like just sacrilege, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, I think it's like that song, the original artist, when they put the song out, it wasn't that song's time yet, if you feel me, to really do it. Like if someone redone my song, if they done like, I don't know, Constellations or Namek or something like that, and they done it better than I am, I would give them credit.
It's like when any rap artist takes a beat and they turn their twist on it, that's cool. But I did not like Kid Rock taking Metallica's Sad But True. Nay, no.
I don't really even like Kid Rock. I'll just go ahead. I don't really like Kid Rock like whatsoever. I think it's corny, which a lot of, you can say that thing about my music, but Kid Rock is just, everyone's like, yeah, man, play some Kid Rock, drink some Bud Light.
Yeah.
I can't stand it, man. It's just, I don't know.
Metallica did a great cover of Bob Seger's Turn the Page.
I haven't heard that.
Really?
No.
We'll take care of that here in just a little bit, folks. We'll take care of that.
I really haven't heard that.
So, Frank, what would you say to anyone out there listening who wants to be a musician, whether it be rap, metal, rock, etc.? What would you say to those folks kind of sitting on the fence?
Pull the trigger.
Yep.
Fuck it. Everyone's going to talk shit about your music. There was someone who made an Instagram page called Frank Hunter Sucks. If that tells you anything, you just can't care. It comes to you got to care. Because, sometimes those little internet trolls, it will bother you. But you can't really let it at the end of the day, because who's the one actually behind the microphone? Who's the one actually, getting in the studio, putting in time, putting in work?
But if they're taking that time to create a page like that, then you're definitely doing something right.
Oh yeah, it's like this artist Little Tecca said. It said if they hate you, you're popping, and there's nothing true. It's in, I think, his song Bossa Nova. Little Tecca, he's like 17 doing this stuff.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't imagine that level of fame. Like Pump gets a lot of hate, and I hated Pump until I started making music, and I'm just like, he acts just like a jackass 24/7. But if I was 16, 17 years old, making millions of dollars a song, I would act like a total jackass too everywhere I went.
I'd swim in the cash.
I'd be dead probably.
I would just swim in it.
Like, I can't remember how much money he made off that song Gucci Gang.
Oh my God.
And like, and it's not even a great song. It's like, he has so much better songs, he does. But he made so much money off that. A ridiculous amount.
So you said you just released a new single, is that correct?
I dropped it last night, Ugly 2.
Ugly 2.
You know, I did Ugly. There's the LP Ugly, and there's a single Ugly 2. And I recorded that up with at Rave Road Records with Nate Achilles and D Rose. Great fellows, great guys.
Are you just going to just still release singles? Are you working toward an EP right now, or what's going on?
I'm working just on singles right now.
Okay.
I was thinking about in 2022 hits, I'm going to do an entire full-length 15-track album. I should go ahead and get to work on that, but I'm just working on these singles right now.
Now, any of these singles, though, are they going to end up on this album, new one coming up, or no? No, okay.
None. It's going to be brand new. I have to go get a new photo shoot. Everything. It's going to be, when it comes to actually dropping this stuff, you have to make it as professional as you possibly can.
And BODS Mayhem Hour is going to be in one of these lyrics and one of these songs, so you better be listening,
Shout
folks.
out.
That's right.
We'll get you in a music video.
I don't care. It'll be fine. Just don't get me in a belly shirt. You don't want to see that.
I don't see why not.
No.
I don't see why not.
No, all that fat hanging out. No. Frank, how can folks stay in touch with you? Pick up these singles, your previous albums, everything, man. Stay in touch. How can they do that?
It's all on SoundCloud right now. I'm working on a greatest, sort of like a greatest hits to go on Spotify, Apple Music. It's called One. I'm currently dealing with the beat leases, and right now I'm trying to make sure everything's done correctly and professionally. But it's going to be everything up to now. It's going to be anywhere from 10 to 15 tracks of just like my favorite, best, either my favorite or my highest played songs. Going to be just all on there. It's going to be all done real well.
Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for this show?
Yeah, sure. This is Frank Hunter. You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Hour Podcast. Please get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link, YouTube link, and you definitely want to subscribe to the YouTube link because we've got a lot of stuff that's going to be put up there right now. So also check out Frank Hunter's music. You will not be disappointed. It's up on SoundCloud, and everything that he's got that I could post will be in the links down below in the YouTube page and the podcast page. So Frank, man, I wish you nothing but the best of luck, and
thanks for having me.
Keep kicking ass, man.
Appreciate it, man.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.